Today's news from Ukraine. The armed forces of Ukraine captured new positions in Zaporizhye. Fighters of the defense forces continue to conduct an offensive operation in the Melitopol direction, western part of the Zaporizhia region. This was stated by the spokesman of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine Andriy Kovalev, indicating that they had success on the Novodanylovka Verbowe route. In turn, the press service of a separate airmobile brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine spoke in more detail about the situation on this part of the front in its Telegram channel. The Ukrainian defenders really took several positions of the Russian occupiers near Verbowe, east of the recently liberated Robotyny. The guys have entrenched themselves. They are waiting for a counterattack. But the advance towards Novoprokopivka, it didn't happen south of Robotyny in counter battles. The enemy is not going to give up their positions without a fight. There's constant tactical coverage of each other's positions, and all this under the constant surveillance of both Ukrainian and enemy reconnaissance drones. The invaders are increasing the pressure on the Ukrainian bridgehead from the western flank. Last night, the enemy regrouped after an unsuccessful counterattack and struck harder in the Novoprokopivka region. It was a tough battle with losses on both sides. Soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine captured at least 9 Russian occupiers, more than a detachment, almost half a platoon. This was reported by the Telegram channel of the Ukrainian military, which released the corresponding video. It was taken from a car that ran over 2 pickup trucks on the road in the frontline area, in the bodies of which we saw 5 and 4 invaders, respectively, with their hands tied and their heads wrapped at eye level. Apparently, they were transported from the front line. After being handed over to law enforcement agencies, they were released. Ukrainian drones disrupted the strengthening of the defense line of the armed forces of the Russian Federation in Donbass. The impact drone first hit a construction arrow on the platform, and then blew up a trailer with construction materials, after which a pit was even formed on the flat surface of the ground from the explosion. The pilots of the strike drone company of a separate mechanized brigade of the armed forces of Ukraine hit several targets in the combat zone with the help of strike drones. The corresponding video was published in the Telegram channel of the unit. The occupiers began to strengthen the second line of defense in the Donbass war zone. For this, they drove heavy equipment, as well as military vehicles, which would help build fortifications. However, attack drones twice attacked the cabin of a construction crane to prevent the Russians from preparing to attack. After the strike, another drone went on reconnaissance, filming the effects of the drone attack for the operators. The footage shows that Russian equipment was significantly damaged by the explosion. The occupiers are strengthening the second line of defense in Donbass, but the pace of construction is being slowed down by Ukrainian kamikaze drones. The military captioned the video. The Russian occupiers in Crimea plan to mobilize 40,000 recruits. The occupiers of Crimea plan to mobilize 40,000 recruits in the near future. Priority is given to retired security forces. The topic of illegal mobilization of the Crimean population is actively discussed on the pro-Ukrainian Telegram channels of the temporarily occupied territories. It is reported that preference will be given to retired police officers and retired police officers. In addition, the Occupation Administration opens mobilization points where there are many people. One of them is already actively working on the embankment in Alushta. The Office of the President of Ukraine reports that the occupiers plan to call up 40,000 recruits, up to 30,000 mobilized and 10,000 conscripts. Special attention will be paid to the so-called evaders. That is why summonses will be handed out accompanied by police officers or the Russian Guard. In Nikopol, 4 people were injured by a Russian drone. The enemy hit twice on the peaceful city of Ukraine, Nikopol. They attacked Nikopol from a drone. There are 4 wounded. The condition is not serious, they will be treated at home. As a result of the shelling, a fire broke out in the administrative building, cars were damaged. They also hit the Marganets community with artillery. Fortunately, there were no casualties. In other communities of the region, the day passed peacefully.